I truly believe you need to be more selfish in order to have a fulfilled life. And yes, people will disapprove and people will not be okay with that and people will be triggered and people will be upset. I get it. It's hard to say no. You like to avoid conflict. You need validation from others, often meant to feel good enough. You're afraid of rejection and oh my god, you can never ever be seen as selfish. So you suppress your needs, you struggle to set boundaries, and you live your life on other people's terms. That one life that you've got. I'm done with you being such a people pleaser. And I'm gonna make you prioritize yourself now. As always, I have 5 chapters for you in this video to follow along and to stop your people-pleasing behavior and become more selfish. People told me in the past, oh Monia, you're so selfish. And you know what? I don't care. I don't see it as selfish to prioritize my own needs. What good am I to anyone if my cup is not filled first? Because here's the thing, when women start to prioritize their own needs and they stop being available for everybody else and jump to everybody else's needs, they are being seen as selfish. When men do the same thing, they are being seen as confident, strong, assertive, leaders, badasses. And I get it, your tendency to be a people pleaser can stem from a variety of factors: social expectations, cultural norms, upbringing, personal experiences. And of course, your people pleasing tendencies are not inherently negative and they stem from a good place. They stem from your genuine desire to create harmony and to connect with other people. However, it's also important that you start to prioritize your own needs, assert yourself, and also create healthy boundaries in order to maintain your mental and physical well-being and autonomy. So why can you not help yourself and stop people pleasing and just prioritize your needs and just say no and just be a little bit more selfish? From a young age, girls especially are often socialized to prioritize harmony, caretaking, and pleasing others. As a young girl, you may have received the message that your worth is literally tied to your ability to nurture, to be accommodating, and to be likable. To be the good girl, to be the sweet girl, to not make a fuss. Traditional gender roles may reinforce the idea that women should be selfless and submissive. You may fear to be rejected if you assert yourself a little bit more, if you stand up for yourself a little bit more, that people will not like you anymore, that people will judge you and dismiss you. And in order to avoid that kind of conflict and to maintain social acceptance, you start to people please. Because you have low self-esteem, you're gonna seek validation and approval from others to feel good and worthy. You want to feel accepted, and the way you think you're gonna be accepted is by just pleasing other people and not really being true to your authentic self and dismissing your own needs. You might have a mother, a grandmother, friends, aunts, whatever, any sort of female role model, women in television shows that you watched when you grew up that have demonstrated that people-pleasing behavior, and then you just adapted this as the norm, as this is what I do as a woman in this world. If you do not like conflict, and in order to avoid conflict, you keep quiet, you hold back, you do what other people want and suggest instead of you actually owning your own voice and speaking up what you actually want. And because of that, you might not even know what you want anymore. You may be so out of touch with your own identity that you don't even know who you are and what you even like and what you don't like, because you're so used to adapt and mold into a version of you think that that's what other people want of you. And you're not a people pleaser, that's not like your character. It's just a behavior that you have adopted. And it's literally because you have a fear of not being safe. Everything comes really down to our lower brain wanting to be safe. And deep down there's just a fear of rejection, being expelled from the tribe. Basically it comes down to we want to be part of a community. We are humans and we are communal beings, and we feel really safe when we are part of a tribe. This is a really old ancestral primal behavior that we have because we cannot really survive out alone in the wild. Okay, we need a tribe to support us, and that fear of rejection is just this deep down fear that you're going to be expelled, that you're going to be on your own, that there's no one else with you anymore. So the first step is really to acknowledge and have the awareness around why you tend to people please. It's just the fear of you being rejected, of you being on your own. And then you need to start to acknowledge that you're safe. You need to tell your lower brain that you are safe. Even if people in class or at a meetup, at a party, or on social media dislike you, that doesn't mean you're not safe, okay? Because you need to just tell your brain, I have people in my life that make me feel safe. You have people that love you. You don't need that person with the cat picture on social media to love you. You have people in your life that love you for who you are. So you just need to tell your brain, I am safe. If that person doesn't like me, or if I say no to that person, that doesn't mean I'm not safe anymore. You need to go to the worst case scenario and think about what is the worst that can happen, because your brain is a little drama queen and it dramatizes, but it doesn't really go to the end. It doesn't really tell the whole story. So you just want to go into like, what am I actually scared of, and what is the worst that can happen if I stand up for myself, or if I speak what I want to do. Like, what is the worst that can happen? You need to really create that whole scenario and go down that route of literally what's the worst that can happen. If you don't want to do an activity that your friends maybe want to do, what is the worst that can happen if you stand up for yourself and you say, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else? Maybe the worst is that they don't want to be friends with you anymore. Do you want to have friendship where conflict is never a thing and the friendship can never even survive a discussion? That's a really shallow friendship. And here is a harsh truth for you, but you need to hear it. People pleasing is lying.
Pardon?
People pleasing is people deceiving. You think you're doing a good thing, but you're actually not doing a good thing. It's a way to try to control. You cannot control what other people think or feel. And the more you try to control that, the more you're gonna dismiss your true self. And you pretend to another person that you are someone that you clearly are not. You're faking it. You're faking to be someone that you're not. And that is people deceiving. If you keep doing that, you're gonna say F you to your true self. You're gonna say F you to the gift of you being you. Only if you start to stand up for your true self and really acknowledge who you are and speak your own voice, you can attract your people. You can attract the right partner for you who loves you for who you are, because deep down that's what you want. You don't want to fake it. You don't want to pretend you're someone, and you don't always want to dismiss who you are. I've been in a relationship like that where I tried to mold myself to please the other person, and at the end of the day I just was a shell of myself and I didn't even know who I was anymore. And that is not fulfilling. That is not true love. And the same goes for friendship, and the same goes for social media audience. If you want to be a content creator, you will only attract the right people to you, the right tribe, the right friends, the right partners to you if you are being authentically you, because that is magnetic. That's literally like a magnet, and you keep attracting people like a big magnet to you who are meant for you. You keep people pleasing and you keep diminishing yourself, you will always attract the wrong people to you who will take advantage of you. You being you, it's literally a filter mechanism to filter out all the junk. Let's be real, you are also a people pleaser because you don't want to be seen as selfish. Selfish people are so bad. They are harmful. They only care about themselves. The problem is the word selfish is often used in a completely wrong context. It's often used to describe women who stand in their power, who stand up for themselves, who prioritize themselves. Women who are unapologetically themselves, who prioritize themselves, and women who are assertive, and women who say no. Being an independent woman and not pleasing others is really a matter of self-care. Whether or not someone is being selfish is literally often just an opinion. So think about people who are truly selfish. Who comes in mind? These are often narcissistic people, people who really just think about themselves. These are people who are self-centered and who are assholes, who are manipulative, who really disregard others. They can only see their own self-interest, and they only behave always in their own self-interest. They lack empathy. You prioritizing your needs does not make you an asshole, does not make you selfish, and does not make you lack empathy. This is what narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths do. You're not any of these. On the other hand, prioritizing yourself actually means practicing self-care, self-love, boundary setting, assertiveness. These are all important factors that you need in order to be a fulfilled, confident woman. This will help you to actually have healthy relationships, healthy friendships, where people not only take, but also give. I believe there's a scale. On the one hand, it's being like really narcissistic, selfish. On the other hand, it's complete people pleasing and you completely lost yourself. And I believe that There's always a scale, okay? Sometimes we're a bit more selfish, we're more on the selfish scale, and sometimes we're more on the people-pleasing scale. But what is important is that we're not dropping only on one or on the other, but that we keep that balance. That sometimes, we might do things that we maybe don't want to do, but we really want to make that other person happy. That's also called compromise. But sometimes we're a bit more selfish and we don't want to compromise, and that's also okay. You need to understand that there is always going to be a conflict. People-pleasing creates an internal conflict with yourself because you are suppressing your true self. So you have this inner conflict with yourself of you're not really speaking up for yourself. You have this feeling of, this is not really what I want to do. By disregarding your true self, that creates that internal conflict. When you start to do the opposite and you start showing up in alignment with your true self and you're speaking your voice and you are standing in your power and you are being more confident and you are being more assertive, what is then happening is you create an external conflict. So the external conflict is that other people will create conflict for you because other people will maybe not like what you do or what you say, and that creates that external conflict. Basically what you need to do is you need to choose your conflict. Do you want to choose the external conflict where be true to yourself and be in alignment with yourself, or do you want to choose the internal conflict? I can tell you which one I'm choosing. I'm definitely choosing the external conflict because the internal conflict will literally eat you up. It will make you sick. It will make you depressed. It will make you have a really horrible experience of life if you keep showing up out of alignment with your true self. And the external conflict you can deal with because you still have people in your life who are for you. You really just always need to understand I'm a magnet for my people, and the way I show up and really truly authentically be myself. Yes, I might have conflict with other people, but these people are not my people. Who are you? And you may not even know this anymore because you've lived your life on other people's terms for so long. So first of all, you need to reconnect with your true self. You need to find your true self again. You need to start to identify what you like, what you don't like, what feels good in your body, what doesn't feel good in your body. Your body will tell you. Your body is always communicating to you. And then you need to start to celebrate your authenticity. You need to start to recognize your worth is not depending on other people's approval or validation. And it's time to embrace that freedom. It's literally freeing you to be yourself unapologetically. And that fear will come up. That fear of rejection will come up. But this is when it comes back to telling our brain, hey, I am safe. And another way to connect with your authenticity is to surround yourself with authentic people, okay? So seek out relationships and communities that value authenticity and encourage self-expression. For example, creative communities, maybe painting, maybe acting. It's really all about being your true self and not caring so much what other people think. Go to a creative meetup. Creative people love being themselves. If you start to surround yourself with authentic individuals and authentic women especially, that can really inspire and support you in your own journey of becoming more authentic yourself. Self-expression is so important in order to stop people-pleasing behavior. By embracing self-expression, you can cultivate healthier relationships. You're going to build your self-confidence, and you're going to have a more fulfilling life that is really aligned with your true self. So what are ways to create that self-expression, to practice that? The number one thing I think is clothes. That is such an easy way to start with your self-expression journey. Start to wear things, not really what you think you should be wearing or what other people are wearing, but what are you drawn to? What do you really feel like wearing? Put it on. And that will also boost your self-confidence. If you just get out of your comfort zone of always wearing the same thing over and over again and start wearing something different, something completely new, but something that really speaks to you. So with clothes, with jewelry, with makeup, all these kind of beauty look related topics, you can really dive into that self-expression and really figure out, what do I like? What do I not like? And another way to do it is journaling and meditation and really getting clear on who you are. I have a really great future self journaling meditation for you down below. You can download that. It's an audio meditation. That means you can just write and journal with it and listening to it at the same time, and that will actually help to create your future self. If you don't really know who that version is of who you want to be, that will help you do that. And journaling generally is such a good way every morning to just understand, who am I? What am I feeling? What do I like? What do I not like? Creative people are really great in being authentic. They love their uniqueness and they are are really good at expressing themselves. Poetry, writing, video. I mean, being a content creator is creative. I can express myself. I can talk about the things that I want to talk about. Learn to connect with what is speaking to you. What is your true voice? Prioritizing yourself means setting clear boundaries with other people, because you need to start to protect your time. You need to start to protect your energy. Your energy is everything. And when you keep people pleasing, you will drain your energy. Your energy is your life force. You have to be able to say no to things. You need to start to set limits of how much you can give to others. You may feel the fear of conflict coming up, but that's okay. You can do it despite the fear. We're not waiting for not feeling the fear, because that's probably never going to happen. We are courageous women, and we're going to take action even though we're scared. And yes, people will disapprove, and people will not be okay with that, and people will be triggered, and people will be upset. But you need to learn to value your opinion more than other people's opinion. Your opinion is what counts. Your opinion is what's creating your reality. If you know you're acting truly out of good intentions, it doesn't matter what other people think. You do not need to feel bad about your choices. And I'll tell you, standing up for yourself takes practice. You need to get the reps in. It's like going to the gym. Literally, it really sucks the first few weeks, and then it gets easier and easier, and then eventually it's just part of who you are. I hope this was helpful. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, check out my Instagram, check out my TikTok for more content, and let me know in the comments what is your opinion about people pleasing, selfishness. I would love to hear from you. Okay guys, speak to you soon. Bye!